Today's story is about a boy who lives in the past and a girl who lives in the future. Somehow they discover that they can talk to each other through a radio. When this strange connection happens, which goes against the normal laws of time and nature, their lives start to change in unexpected ways. It also affects the people around them. And in the end, this change becomes the biggest twist in the whole story. This film is not just about science fiction. It also has a lot of romance and feel-good moments that will surely touch your heart and make you emotional. The story begins by showing us a college student named Kim. He is riding his bicycle and listening to music while going to college. He is the main hero of our story. Kim is studying mechanical engineering, and the college is opening again after the holidays. Kim has a friend who is walking along with him. The friend says, "Hey, do you know that this year, 17 girls have joined the mechanical department?" Kim looks very surprised and asks, "So many girls in the mechanical department?" His friend teases him and says, "Yes, don't faint from happiness. Let me tell you more. I heard that one of those girls is a top scorer who has already registered in our department, but she has not yet come to take admission. So I will get her phone number for you. You should call her and try to convince her to join our department. If she comes, we can proudly tell everyone in the college that the top scorer chose mechanical engineering." By the way, friends, the year in this part of the story is 1999. Kim's friend gives him the girl's phone number. Kim then records a voice message for her. In the message, he says, "I heard that you have registered for our college, but you have not taken admission yet. I want to tell you that the best department here is the mechanical department. If you join, I will help you with anything you need. Since I am the leader of the mechanical class, I will treat you as my own friend. Please come and register for mechanical engineering today. Also, we are having a freshers party tonight. I will wait for you in the college auditorium, and I will personally take you to the party." By the way, friends, Kim didn't really know anything about this girl. He only knew she was a girl, and he thought, before my friends try to become her friends, I will talk to her first and maybe even become her boyfriend. This was Kim's little plan. In this university, there are many other departments where girls study, but their hostel is far away from the boys' hostel. Boys can't go there, and girls can't walk around the boys' hostel either. That's why the mechanical boys were so excited to meet the new girls. Later that afternoon, after listening to Kim's voice message, the girl called him and asked, "How will I recognize you? I've never seen you." Kim told her what color clothes he was wearing and said he'd wait in the auditorium. This made everything easier. Soon the girl met Kim in the auditorium. When Kim saw her, he fell in love at first sight. Her name was Han Sol. She said, "You're the leader of the mechanical class, right? I don't know much about this college. Can you show me around? Also, I want to join some clubs." Kim was very happy and said, "Yes, of course. I was born for this." He took Han Sol all over the college. For Kim, walking with her felt like a celebration. At the end, he brought Han Sol to the radio room. Han Sol loved radios and said, "Can we go inside and try it? It looks fun." Kim tried to open the door but felt a shock from the lock and said, "Looks like there's an electric problem. We'll try another day." Han Sol then asked, "Is there anyone here who knows how to use this radio?" Kim actually had a friend named Sean who owned a radio and knew how to operate it. But Kim worried that if Han Sol met Sean, she might get close to him instead. So Kim decided not to tell her. Instead, he said, "This old radio was used a long time ago. Now we have phones and papers. Anyway, why would you want to use this radio?" But Han Sol replied, "I really want to learn, and I will find someone who can teach me." The evening passed while they talked, and later Kim and his friends enjoyed the fresher party together. Now, friends, Han Sol was the top scorer among all the new students, so everyone noticed her and thought she was smart and polite. But during the party, a senior student who was drunk started teasing and misbehaving with her. Han Sol gave him such a strong reply that he felt completely insulted. He got angry and tried to hit Han Sol. Everyone around was shocked, wondering who this brave girl was who dared to talk back to the biggest bully in college. After the party ended, Kim and Han Sol came outside. Kim said, "Even I am scared of that senior, and you scolded him like he was a little kid. He will remember this insult for his whole life. But now I'm worried the seniors will gang up and take revenge on all of us." Han Sol calmly replied, "Why are you so scared? He was wrong. He should be the one who is afraid, not us." Kim walked Han Sol back to her hostel. He said, "Today was such a nice day because you were with me. Even though this is our first meeting, I feel like we've known each other for a long time. It feels like our bond has become very strong. Let's do one thing. Tomorrow we'll have lunch together. What do you say?" Kim kept talking so much that Han Sol started to feel a little confused. After a moment, Kim himself thought, "Oh no, I said too much on the first day." But then Han Sol smiled and said, "Okay, we'll meet tomorrow for lunch." Hearing this, Kim was so happy he felt like he was flying. He ran to tell his friend Sean, "Do you know Han Sol really likes radios? Can you give me your radio? I want to impress her." Sean said, "Sure, buddy. It's at my house. Take it anytime." If we talk about Kim, he was actually very lonely. He didn't have anyone close except his pet turtle. That night, he told everything to his turtle, how he met Hansel, spent the day with her, and how much he liked her. Now, friends, Kim had brought Sean's radio to his room. One day, a voice came through the radio, but Kim didn't notice it at first. The next day, he went to meet Hansel in college. He watched her closely and asked, "What do you want to do in the future after you finish studying?" Hansel replied, "I want to get a good job and make my family happy." But Kim wasn't really listening to her answer. He was just looking at her face and thinking she looked even more beautiful these days. Then Hansel asked him, "And what about you? What do you want to do in life?" Without thinking, Kim blurted out, "I want to kiss you right now." Right after saying it, he realized what a big mistake he had made. Hansel got angry and said, "What a rude boy." She walked away upset. Kim tried hard to say sorry and explain it was just a slip of the tongue, but Hansel didn't listen and left. Feeling sad, Kim went back to his room and told his turtle, "Friend, I made a huge mistake today. Our love story ended before it even started. She must think I'm just some random guy who only wants to flirt." While he was talking to his turtle, he heard a voice again from the radio. This time he listened carefully. A girl's voice was coming through. She was excited and said, "Oh wow, it's working. I thought this old radio wouldn't have a signal." The girl asked, "What's your name and where do you live?" Kim replied, "I'm Kim. I study mechanical engineering in my second year at the university." The girl sounded surprised and said, "I also study at the same university. I'm Mani, and I'm in electronics and communication. I have an assignment to talk to a stranger over the radio and interview him. My dad owns this radio, but I thought it was too old to work." She asked Kim for help. He agreed and said, "Sure, I'll help you. But do you know how to use this radio properly?" Mani said, "Yes, my dad has a manual. I'm reading it to learn how to operate it." Kim asked, "Can you please give me a copy of that manual? If you do, I'll help you with all your assignments." Mani agreed and said, "Okay, let's meet tomorrow in front of the college building at 12 noon. Kim said, "All right, see you then." The next day, friends, Kim reached on time and stood outside the college building in the hot sun. He waited and waited, but Mani didn't come even after lunch break ended. By 2 p.m., Kim felt upset and thought, "This girl fooled me," so he left. In the next scene, we see Mani actually standing at the same spot, but for her, it was raining heavily. Here, we learn the truth. Kim was in 1999, and Mani was in 2022. Even though they were in different times, somehow the radio connected them. But neither of them knew this yet. That's why they were waiting for each other in vain. Poor Mani stood there getting soaked in the rain until her close friend Youngji came with an umbrella. He asked, "Who are you waiting for in this heavy rain?" Mani said sadly, "I came to meet a stranger for my assignment. He promised he would meet me here, but he didn't show up." Youngji tried to cheer her up and said, "Don't worry, let's go to a restaurant." They went together. By the way, Mani had loved Youngji secretly for many years, but Youngji only saw her as a good friend. Mani was afraid to tell him her feelings because she didn't want to ruin their friendship. In the restaurant, Mani explained her assignment problem. Youngji joked, "You could have just interviewed me." Mani snapped, "I have to interview a real stranger on the radio. If I fail, my lecturer will scold me in front of everyone." Later, Kim contacted Mani again on the radio. He was angry and said, "I stood in the hot sun for 2 hours waiting for you. I was burning up. Why didn't you come?" Mani shouted back, "Wait, I'm the one who should be angry. I stood in heavy rain for 2 hours waiting for you." "You're the liar," Kim said. "Rain? I was sweating in the sun. You're making this up." Mani replied, "I caught a cold standing there. It's still raining." She held the mic outside and Kim could hear the rain clearly. Kim didn't believe her and said, "Are you washing dishes? That's what it sounds like." Suddenly, loud thunder and lightning cut their signal. Kim sat there confused, wondering, how can it be raining there when it's sunny here? What is going on? The next day, friends, Hansel came to meet Kim, but Kim was so scared that she might scold him like she did that senior. So he ran away as soon as he saw her. He went to Sean and said, "I fell in love with Hansel the first time I saw her, and the next day, without thinking, I said I wanted to kiss her. Now I feel I should apologize and tell her how I really feel." Sean replied, "You can tell her, but what if she says no? What will you do then?" Kim got angry and said, "Stop saying such negative things. You'll see, I'll propose to her properly." Meanwhile, in 2022, Mani's whole class submitted their assignments except her. The lecturer warned her, "If you don't submit in 2 days, you'll be thrown out." Worried, Mani called Kim again on the radio and said, "I'm sorry for what I said yesterday. Please help me finish my assignment." Kim said, "All right, no need to cry. I'll help you, but first send me the radio manual." Mani agreed and asked, "What will you do with it?" Kim said, "I have a girlfriend who loves radios. I want to learn how to use it to impress her." Mani laughed and said, "That's a sweet idea. By the way, when did you join the university?" Kim said, "I joined in 1998 and now it's 1999. Mani was shocked. "What are you saying? It's 2022. She asked Kim for his phone number, but when she tried calling, the message said the number didn't exist. She suggested they chat on a messaging app, but Kim didn't even know what that was. After talking more, they realized they were really living in different times. Kim in 1999 and Moni in 2022. Both were shocked. Kim had an idea. In your time, is there still an old phone booth at the college? Moni said, yes, but nobody uses it. Kim said, I'll go write something there now. You check if you can see it. Kim went to the booth and wrote a message. Moni visited it in 2022 and saw his words still there. She was excited, but her friend said, that doesn't prove it. Maybe he wrote it yesterday. Moni was confused again. Meanwhile, in 1999, Kim finally gathered courage and apologized to Hansel. She forgave him, and they became friends again. In 2022, Moni was sad because Youngji's family was struggling, and he planned to leave school to work. She was scared he would leave her life forever. She shared all this with Kim over the radio. As they kept talking, Kim and Moni became close friends, telling each other everything. Kim asked Moni for advice on how to impress Hansel. Moni said, first, take a bath and wear clean clothes. Be kind, understand what she likes, and be gentle. She will notice you. Kim took her advice, changed his look, and went to Hansel. She was surprised by his new attitude. Kim politely asked, would you like to go on an outing with me? Hansel smiled and said yes, and they went out together. Friends after taking Moni's advice, Kim started behaving very nicely with Hansel. She was impressed, and Kim was very happy. He told Moni, your tips worked. Now I want to propose to Hansel. Any ideas? Moni said, look, she probably likes you now, so just be bold and propose. She will surely say yes. Kim gathered his courage and finally proposed to Hansel, though he was very nervous inside. But when Hansel said yes, Kim felt like he was on top of the world. He quickly told Moni the good news. Moni was also very happy for him. Kim asked, by the way, what about your boyfriend Youngji? Did you meet him? Moni said, yes, I met him. He left his studies to support his family and is working in a restaurant now. I still want to propose to him, but I'm scared. What if he rejects me and our friendship ends? Kim said, hey, you're the love expert who helped me. Why don't you follow your own advice? Don't worry, I'll help you too. I'll give you some tips that will make any boy say yes. Moni laughed and said, okay, boss. She took out her notebook and started writing down Kim's tips. They chatted for a long time. Then Moni said, you know you're in 1999, right? My dad also studied at your university back then. He was in mechanical engineering. Maybe you know him? Kim was surprised. Really, what's his name? Moni said, his name is Sean. Kim was shocked. You're Sean's daughter? What a coincidence. Moni smiled and said, yes, you must also know my mother. She was in mechanical too. They were classmates, fell in love, and got married. Then I was born. Kim asked her, wait, what's your mother's name? Moni replied, my mother's name is Hansel. Hearing this, Kim's heart shattered. Moni asked excitedly, can you tell me something about their love story? I really want to know. Kim was so upset that he broke the radio mic in anger. On the other side, Moni couldn't understand why the radio call suddenly got cut. In her room, there was a photo of Sean, Hansel, and little Moni together. She also had a big turtle in a tank, just like the one Kim kept in the past. The next morning, Kim came to college looking very tense. He saw Hansel and Sean talking closely. Since Hansel had joined, Kim had never seen them speak before. Seeing them together, he felt jealous and almost hit Sean, but controlled himself. He pulled Sean aside and asked angrily, tell me honestly, are you and some girl named Moni playing a prank on me with the radio? Sean looked confused. Who's Moni? I don't know what you're talking about. Hansel noticed something was wrong and asked, what happened between you two? Why are you fighting? Kim quickly said, nothing. It's fine. He held Hansel's hand and walked away with her. Hansel asked, why are you acting so strange? I thought you were about to hit Sean. What's your problem? Kim tried to calm her. It's nothing. Small arguments happen between friends. Then he asked, what were you talking about with Sean? Hansel replied, Sean is the student council president, and I'm the freshers leader. We have a meeting tonight, so we were discussing that. Kim asked suspiciously, who else will be there? Hansel said, me, Sean, and the other freshers. Worried that Sean might get close to Hansel, Kim decided to sit in the meeting himself, even though he had no reason to be there. Hansel said, this is a freshers meeting. Please leave. I'll come out when it's done. But Kim refused to go. Finally, Sean pulled Kim outside and asked, what's wrong with you? You almost hit me this morning. Do you think something is going on between me and Hansel? Hearing this, Kim was speechless. Sean continued, I know how much you love Hansel. I would never think of her that way. You've known me for years. It hurts that you don't trust me. What kind of friendship is this? After Sean left, Kim felt very guilty and thought, I made a big mistake doubting my friend. What must Hansel think of me now? Some days passed and Kim started spending a lot of time alone. He was scared that Hansel might leave him. At the same time, He was worried that if he and Hansel really got married, Moni would never be born in the future. This thought made him very confused and sad. One day he called Hansel to his house. She looked around and saw many books. She smiled and asked, "Do you like books so much?" Kim replied, "Not only do I like them, I am also writing some books myself." Then Hansel noticed the radio sitting there. She said, "How many times did I ask you to teach me how to use the radio? You always said you didn't have one. So you did have it all along. Come on, please teach me now." But Kim didn't feel like spending time with her anymore. He felt strange inside, so he said coldly, "This isn't mine. It's my friend Sean's." Hearing that, Hansel's eyes lit up. "Oh, really? This belongs to Sean?" she said with interest. This made Kim feel even worse and more irritated. Then Hansel took a photo of herself and Kim and pasted it on the left side of the radio. When Kim saw the photo, he suddenly remembered something Moni had told him over the radio. She once said, "There is something like a white sticker on the side of my father's old radio." Now Kim understood it was never a sticker. It was this photo Hansel had just pasted. Over all the years, by the time it became 2022, the picture had faded and looked like a white sticker. At that moment, Kim realized the truth. The radio was Sean's. Moni was talking to him through Sean's radio, which meant that in the future, Hansel would marry Sean, not him. At the same time, in 2022, Moni also started feeling something was wrong. After she told Kim her mother's name, he stopped contacting her. She felt there must be a reason. She started looking through her parents' old photo albums. In all the photos of Sean and Hansel, Kim was there too. Through those photos, Moni finally learned that her mother Hansel and Kim were in love in the past, but later her mother married Sean instead. Moni felt very sad and thought, maybe this is why Kim is not talking to me anymore. Then Moni's mom Hansel called her. Moni gathered courage and asked, "Mom, what happened to Kim? Where did he go?" Hansel sighed and said, "Kim thought I was in love with Sean, so he left the city. I looked for him everywhere, but never found him. I don't even know if he is alive now. A few years later, Sean and I fell in love and got married, and then you were born." After hearing all this, Moni felt terrible. She thought, it's all because of me. Kim had shared everything with her about how much he loved Hansel. And when she told him that Hansel and Sean were her parents in the future, maybe that made Kim believe they were in love even back then. That thought probably broke his heart and made him leave forever. Moni told everything to Youngji while crying. She said, "Maybe I am the reason my mom and Kim's love ended. If I had not told Kim the truth, he would have still loved her and never left the city. I made a big mistake." Poor Moni cried a lot, feeling guilty. Youngji hugged her and said kindly, No, this is not your fault. No one can change what is written in destiny. It was meant to happen this way. Kim and your mother were supposed to separate. Your parents were supposed to marry, and you were meant to be born. Don't blame yourself. In the past, Kim was playing a basketball match. Hansel and Sean came to watch and sat together, happily talking and recording a video. Seeing them so close, Kim couldn't focus on the game. His jealousy grew, and in anger, he started hitting Sean right there on the court. Hansel was confused again and didn't understand why Kim and Sean kept fighting. Later, she asked Sean about it. Sean calmly said, "It's nothing serious. This happens between friends. Kim has a short temper, but he's a good person. He wanted to be a writer, but he joined mechanical engineering because I convinced him. Maybe that's why he's stressed. Don't think badly of him. Tomorrow he'll come to me and say sorry. This is just how we are." Even though Kim had hit him, Sean didn't complain or say anything bad about Kim. Instead, he tried to protect Kim's image in front of Hansel. Hansel admired this kindness. Meanwhile, Kim went home feeling guilty again. "I hit my friend in front of everyone for no reason," he thought. He wanted to talk to Moni on the radio, but she wasn't home. Feeling lost, Kim looked for his pet turtle to share his sadness, but the turtle was gone. He saw its little footprints and followed them all the way across the road. Soon it started raining. His turtle was his only companion, who always listened to him. Kim searched everywhere and finally saw Hansel holding the turtle, while Sean stood beside her with an umbrella. This sight broke Kim's heart completely. He felt like he could never be part of their world. He thought, they look so happy together. Why should I come between them and ruin everything? Kim decided it would be better to disappear from their lives forever. He left his beloved turtle with them and walked away. For the first time, he cried openly as he thought about every moment he had spent with Hansel, from their first meeting until now. Actually, friends, Hansel and Sean were just talking casually under the umbrella that day. They were only friends, not in love. But every time Kim saw them together, he misunderstood and felt hurt. In the end, Kim chose to walk away from Hansel's life on his own. A few years later, Sean and Hansel did slowly fall in love and eventually got married. Meanwhile, Moni tried to contact Kim again through the radio, but she never succeeded. In the next scene, Mani finished her assignment. She used all the conversations she had with Kim to prepare it. When she presented it in her class, everyone loved it and praised her a lot. But Mani still didn't know where Kim was or if he was even alive. Then Youngji came running to her and said, "I just read the same story in this book, and the author's name is Kim." He explained that Kim had written many books and now owned a bookstore. Mani took the book and went to see Kim at his shop. She saw Kim signing books for his fans. When it was her turn, she handed him the book for an autograph. Kim looked up and asked, "What's your name?" She said softly, "Mani." Kim immediately recognized her and said warmly, "It's been many years since we talked." For Kim, it really had been many years, since he was in 1999 when they last spoke. But for Mani in 2022, it had only just happened. Kim asked, "How is my little turtle?" Mani smiled and said, "It's good." Kim signed the book and handed it back. Mani couldn't say anything more. She felt too guilty, thinking it was because of her that Kim never got his love. She looked down and read what Kim had written. "Always listen to your heart. Whatever happens is fate. You are not responsible, nor is anyone else. Let go of this burden. And if you decide to do something, do it quickly, before it's too late." He actually wanted to tell Mani that if she loved Youngji, she should confess soon. Otherwise, it might be too late, just like it had been for him. Mani took his advice to heart and finally told Youngji how she felt. Youngji smiled and said, "The same reason you were afraid to tell me is why I also stayed quiet. Thank God you spoke up first, or I would have lost you forever." In this way, Mani and Youngji finally came together. But friends, there's something special I want to remind you about. Remember when Kim first contacted Mani over the radio, when they planned to meet outside the building? Kim waited in the hot sun in 1999, and Mani stood in the rain in 2022. What you didn't know was that the older Kim, who was living in 2022, actually saw Mani standing there, getting wet in the rain. He handed an umbrella to Youngji and said, "Go give this to her. She's getting soaked." Kim could have walked over himself and told Mani, "I am the same Kim who spoke to you on the radio from the past." But he didn't. He wanted Mani and Youngji to find happiness together, so he quietly stayed back and let Youngji go to her. And friends, that's how this beautiful, touching story ends. Now you tell me, what do you think about this? Share your thoughts in the comments. We'll see you in the next video. Take care, and thanks for watching.